I feel like it's like so important that every season, like even if you're not circling or not having a ceremony, maybe you want to journal, maybe you want to go for a hike, get in nature, maybe you want to take a yoga class or whatever it is, the thing that you love to do, that you can like set an intention of like you're closing this season and then we're opening up to the next season. So this summer, this is the season of full bloom. This is the season I think that as people that we think that we need to be in all of the time, however, we're really not. And something I've been resonating with more and more is that we're not always in the internal season that's happening out here. And so it's like summer's here, it's in full bloom. We're supposed to be moving, we're supposed to be busy, but like my dad died like 2.5 months ago. And I'm not like playing the victim card, but it's like a thing that's just like this heavy energy. Like no matter how close or wasn't close with my dad or my Grammy or my uncle who passed, it's like it's this heavy energy and it makes me want to retreat. Welcome to the Empath Alchemist with Shelly. And I'm Shelly. Today we're going to be talking about the summer solstice. Summer energy. June 21st is the official summer solstice. It's like this beautiful day where it is like the lightest day of the whole year. Like the sun, I don't know exactly, but the sun is like so bright from early in the morning until like late at night, and it is like the longest day of the year. And this welcome of summer. And summer is this beautiful season where it's like everything is in full bloom. And I think that as an empath, that I always think that I should be in full bloom, but we have all different inner seasons. So join me in this beautiful podcast today where we will dive deep into the summer solstice and how it can help you expand and grow as an empath. Our inspiration of today is from the Rebecca Campbell Rose Oracle deck, and it says, After the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. Like that can mean so many different things. For me, like it's over, it's like it's over and it's time to move on. Like summer is coming. That means springtime is like over. And it's funny because I came from living in the mountains where we didn't really get a spring. We got like a spring winter where it just like still snowed a lot. But now I'm down in the city and it's like hot, like super hot, lots of sunburns. And it's like, okay, it's over. This door is closing, and acceptance. And I love the word relief for this card too. I love cards because life is hard and there's so many hard situations where we just don't know what to do about them. And like if you just need a little bit of guidance, like a card is like a beautiful way to just give you some guidance like that when you're just not sure of what to do, and you can just like settle in with the cards. All Most card decks actually have like a little book that you can read too, but I like to just settle in with myself. I don't always resonate with like every single thing that they say, but acceptance. So it's like, how can we be accepting of this season? How can we, even if we're a ginger and we get really sunburned and we don't like love the sun, how can you embrace like this change and enjoy it? And like, I don't love to like smother myself with chemically sunscreen all the time because I think that that is like a whole thing on its own. However, I am a ginger, my kids are gingers, and we use sunscreen, even though I know it's bad for you. And there's all these studies showing how sunscreen now is like a carcinogenic and causing cancer. But then it's like, okay, catch 22, or do you just get a terrible sunburn? I don't know, right? Or do you find balance and you get out in the sun and then you shade it, and then you get out in the sun and you shade it? Or we were at my sister's pool for like, my kids were out there for 6 hours, and my littlest Jack got so freaking sunburnt he couldn't like do anything for like 4 days. Like it's that dualistic nature of nature where we can look deep into it, but we don't always understand it. And so every year for like ever since I've been teaching yoga for 8 years, I've always done some sort of like a ceremony or a circle when it comes to the seasons. So, 4 times a year for every season, and this is summer, and I'm actually just last minute putting together a summer solstice circle. And for these circles, like they're very sacred to me. And I do not just invite anybody. I would not just let anybody come to these circles. Like, I feel very protective about my circles. They are like my souliest soul sisters, my souliest soul sisters who are coming to the circles. Like, you got to be like in my inner circle. Like, I really don't even still to this day let my daughter come to my circles, which I love her to pieces because my circles are my time to like guide and release and be present with women. And so with this circle coming up, like I have a soul sister, Jess, and she has helped me facilitate in the past, but we've kind of like her dad actually died like I think it's been over a year, and she's been through like the dark shadow of the night and really struggling, and so she kind of like fell off, and I totally understand like that's where she had to be. So then it was just me guiding circles or just not doing a circle for anybody else but myself. And even though like I think it was the last season, which was spring, we did not get together for a circle, which was really sad. But guess who still did a circle? Me. I still did a circle like all for myself. Do you see this like gorgeous guardian angel? It's like my dad. Hello, dad. You're right here. And so I feel like it's like so important that every season, like even if you're not circling or not having a ceremony, maybe you want to journal, maybe you want to go for a hike, get in nature, maybe you want to take a yoga class or whatever it is the thing that you love to do, that you can like set an intention of like you're closing this season and then we're opening up to the next season. So this summer, this is the season of full bloom. This is the season I think that as people that we think that we need to be in all of the time, however, we're really not. And something I've been resonating with more and more is that we're not always in the internal season that's happening out here. And so it's like summer's here, it's in full bloom. We're supposed to be moving, we're supposed to be busy, but like my dad died like 2.5 months ago. And I'm not like playing the victim card, but it's like a thing that's just like this heavy energy. Like, no matter how close or wasn't close with my dad or my Grammy or my uncle who passed, it's like it's this heavy energy and it makes me want to retreat. And like, I just really want to retreat. And this is so funny is so I moved from cities and I've been teaching a gentle yoga class at the community center in Estes Park for the past 3 years. And I've grown this like amazing community of like my grandmas, my moms, my soul moms, my people. And if you're watching, I love you and I miss you so much. And I had full intentions of coming down to the city and finding a studio and teaching. And I don't even know if I've talked about this. And if I have, sorry. And if I haven't, I'm telling you a story. Is so I reached out and I saw there was like 4 different studios. I first decided I don't want to work at the rec anymore. I don't like corporate. I don't want to have to take weird classes for like human resources or I don't know. I'm not a corporate lady. I want to be more like on my own time, free spirit. And so I looked up these 3 different studios, and the first studio was one that I actually have taken a class in before because one of my old hair clients, I used to do her hair for like ever. I did her hair for like 15 years. Um, and she worked there, but I got a hold of the owner through an email and she was like, oh, come stop by and take one of our classes to see if you resonate with the studio. And I put in the studio on my Google Maps and I go to drive there and I cannot find the studio. Like it's like on the map, it says it's here, but it's not here and I couldn't find it. And it was so weird. And then actually prior to that, I had an kind of like an interview walk through this studio off of a very busy street in very weird colors. Like the building is like bright dark maroon with like yellow bordering. And it was like, huh, like to me, it was like just like, hmm. interesting. And I get in there and it does just have a different energy. And there's a room with like partitions, but they're like opened and they maybe are like floating doors or floating windows with like frost colored glass. And a woman who was the owner of the studio is in there like doing some sort of treatment with this lady with like a roller. I forgot what she called it. Um, and she was a very interesting woman. Like she was like just a very interesting woman. And she gave me a tour of the studio and it was just like not energetically in alignment. And then she takes me outside and it's beautiful. The outside space, I'm like, oh, I could totally teach her. It's beautiful, huge mature trees. And even for as busy as the street was, the house building like fogged out or muffled a lot of the road sounds. Well, so she takes me over and I think it must have been an old shop that they turned into a yoga studio. And it's like old, dingy, brick that's like painted really dark, maybe gray, maybe dark brown, and it just smelled weird and it was not inviting. Tiny little tall windows. I'm like, there's no way I'm teaching yoga here. Like just the feel of it was like not right. And I went back in the building to chat with the lady and she actually warmed up quite a bit from when I first met her. I was like, oh, she's just kind of like hard to read, but I really liked her energy. She was really nice and she really wanted to help like yoga teachers and, healing practitioners have their own business, which I appreciated. And she was really honest and forthright. But it was like not the right energy. I was like, this is just not right. And then so she tells me about this other studio and I drive by it and it's in this weird like shopping mall and it looks like half of the sign is missing and it just says yoga and it's like, I don't know, it just felt weird and I was like trying to creep on it. And then I get home here to this space and this is my yoga space that I set up. I'm like, this is where I want to teach yoga. I want to make my own energy. I want to be on my schedule. I want to teach my classes and I do love being in person. And yes, I need to put together like a retreat or something like that because I crave that, but I'm doing a women's circle. So that is coming up with my women. But I decided that I don't want to work for anyone else anymore. Like, I want to work for myself. I want my rules. I want my classes, my ideas, my creativity. But it's a lot. And teaching from home is way different from teaching in the studio because it is easy to get really distracted. And my kids are home for summer. And like right now, all of my kids are on screens. Um, this room is actually my dining room and I have to push my table out and set up my lights and stuff. And it kind of makes my house a disaster. And I have to not clean my house for many hours and take the time for this. But it's like, if you're going to go out to work, you're going to leave your house and you're just going to have to leave it and be present. And so this is where I decided I want to teach, like in my energy, in my space where I want to teach, not for anyone else. And I've always thought maybe one day I would have my own in-person studio, but I don't know if that's the case. Like I'm open. I always wanted my own healing center. That was like my biggest dream like 5 years ago. But it's like this I love. Like I love being able to be on here on my time and then giving you the love, the knowledge, the info. And then you can watch it on your time, in your place where you're comfortable, like in between your busy life. And so that's where I am right now. And it's like quite amazing and scary and all of the things. And like for me, we've had like this year has been a lot and we moved from our home that we lived in for 6 years. And it's funny because I moved so many times when I was a little girl, like 49 times, that I didn't really get so attached to houses. I never really had a home. And I didn't feel like I was as attached to my old house, but I was. I got really attached to it. And we had this wall. It was the growth wall. And we started when our kids were like here and I had to paint over it like a month ago and the kids were up here and we've been in this house for a month and a half now and every day I'm feeling more and more at home. It's like the more time, the more memories that you put into the house, like holidays, birthdays, like it just needs time and space. And this house is just a way different layout and we're just getting used to it. We're just being flexible like the seasons. And so for the summer solstice, I wanted to just kind of give you a rundown of what I do in my circles and see if you would be interested because I have always had this idea too of like facilitating how Rebecca Campbell does, like online women's circles. And I know it's not as personal, but in your space at your time. And so the way I like to start my circles is usually we start out with some nice gentle yoga that's for everybody, depending on who I teach it to. Like I have this one soul sister, Jess, and if I'm just teaching her, I know that she's like me and she likes to do like hard yoga poses. Like when her life is hard, like I like to do hard exercises, hard postures when I'm struggling because it makes me feel like if I can do this, I can do anything and I can get through this. But for this big circle, I'm trying to gather this group of, it will be 5 of us women, and one of the women lives like right off of the Big Thompson River in Estes Park, like deep more towards the, I don't know which park entrance. I think it's the West Park entrance, like the one when you first come in town. And it is, oh my gosh, her property is like sacred and amazing. And there's massive trees and the energy is palpable. Like you can feel it. It is this beautiful space. And I always, though, I start my circles with candles, and nowadays just with forest fires and dangers and wind, is that I use like candles that have just like a battery and we turn them on. But for me, we put the circles, we make candles around the entire circle, and that just symbolizes that you're making a sacred space. So I guess that more that this is kind of like a, if you want to do your own circle, if you want to do it for yourself, if you want to do it with you and your best friend, or you and your soul sister, or maybe you and your partner, then this is the way that I do it. So you can bring it to your people. So if you have like a notepad, you can definitely do that, or you can screen record this, because these circles, I've been doing them, like I said, for probably like 8 years now, and they're pretty freaking awesome. And I would say the biggest part of a circle is being like having a plan. I always write everything down and I have all my tools that I need, but I am flexible and I am intuitive, and I do let spirit, my spirit guides, my guardian angels come through me. And so I'm not like so regimented. So it's like if I have the intention to teach yoga and I'm teaching yoga and I do my best to, like 30 to 45 minutes. Like if we're having a 2-hour circle, it's probably only going to be a 30-minute yoga class. But if it's like a 4-hour circle, I will do an hour yoga session. And so always I start out with yoga. And then I feel like when you do yoga, it really allows you to kind of move from your mind and your thoughts, and you're kind of moving through your feeling body to settle into yourself so you can allow a little bit of stillness. And then lately, I've been doing a lot of drumming. And so this summer solstice, this big baby, big girl, she's 24. I think she's 24 inches. So this is a Remo buffalo drum. I actually weirdly got her on Amazon. I call her because she's her. But look at this. So she has like, I don't even know. It's like this, like, I don't know, like filmy thing. And it's very like, it sends these echoey sounds. And these are actually, they look like, I wish that they were not rope, but they're just rope and they're all spun up. But you can hold on to this, because when I first started a drum, like this drum is huge. Like look at her compared to my upper body. I'm 5'9" and I weigh 155 pounds. Like she's a big girl. But when I first started drumming, my arm would go numb. And so I've learned that with my drum, I can hold her like on my thigh. I can press her against my body. I can hold her on my shoulder. And it's really cool because it creates like a different vibration and a different sound. And getting this straight, I was never like a musically inclined person. I never played instruments. Like I love singing off and on, but never in front of people. When I took my yoga teacher training and we did mantra affirmations, I was always really nervous. Like in my teacher training, we had to say Om 3 times at the beginning of every class, 3 times at the end, and that was terrifying. So doing this is more of an intuitive thing that I just let happen. I don't think about it. I just move. I feel the drum into my body, and it's just like you become this like channel and this like open conduit. And some of these big sounds, like they just rattle and they go through your bones. And I feel like the energy of the drum just like takes away and it just like grounds down things that maybe we were not able to ground down. So that's the second part. Is I usually do is a drumming ceremony, and just depending on who I'm with, like most of the women in my circle actually have their own drums, and we'll do some sort of like a drumming circle. But I just become this like channel, and I just allow like healing to come through. So often what happens is I will drum to a woman around her, and then I intuitively will like work with an affirmation or a mantra, or I'll have like a mantra, like maybe I'm focusing on heart opening. Like I think that's a really beautiful one. um, and there's this whole huge mantra that I say, um, that is for heart healing. And I'll say it too. It's I gude name, jukai gude name, sat gude name, siddhi guru de me name. I've been doing this for years, so it's just like this channel. And so I can take my drum, and in the beginning I would just write down the affirmation, but now it's just like locked in, and you could let it come up through a whisper. Ai gute name, jukai gute name, sat gute name, siddhi guru de me name. Or you can speak it. Ai gute name, jukai gute name, sat gute name, siddhi guru de me name. Or you can sing it if you're brave enough. Ai gute name, jukai gute name, sat gute name, siddhi guru de me name. And I'll just let it come through however it does. And there is this power in mantra, and it honestly doesn't matter if you're getting the mantra right or not. And just like the energy from just that little bit, like goosebumps. Like it's just like chants and mantras. Chant, mantra, same thing. I always used to be like, what are the difference? What is it? They have this deep vibrational frequency or this pulse, and no matter what is happening, like you say them, you absorb them, it's just creating this shift. So in those circles, we go from yoga to like usually a drumming session with some sort of mantra or intention, like, and it's all intentional. And so whole circle, like this is a summer solstice circle, so it's going to be based on like changing with the seasons, being in full bloom, being in the heat. The solstice is that sun, which is that masculine energy. So astrologically, like we're in that like masculine nature. And even as women, like we all have masculine energy. And like I definitely am more like, I'm pretty grounded in both, but like I am like a fierce woman. Like I've got lots of that masculine energy, and I need that yin and that yang and that balance. And then circle, and then usually some sort of a ritual. And I always like to usually do these outside, if I didn't say that, in nature, just so you're really connecting with nature. But if the best you can do is be by your favorite house plant, and you can be in a room with women, that can be really powerful too, because the weather does not always work out in our favor. But I will tell you that it does not matter if it is snowing and freezing or raining and soaking wet. Like my group of soul sisters, we just do it. We get our butts into nature, and we just are in nature, and it's like amazing. And it's like the most revived thing ever. Like you have the most energy. You feel like the most alive, the most on fire after these circles. And especially if you do them with women that you like love and you trust, it's profound. Like I've done circles where we just kind of, like one time I had four different women that I hadn't really circled with, and we made a circle with just a bunch of different women. The first circle was like freaking amazing. And everyone just brought little pieces with them. And there was one woman who threw the whole circle off. And it was like, oh, that's why I'm like, you need to check in with who you're circling with energetically to see if you align, because like you're like an open conduit when you're holding the space for these circles. And for real, like anyone can do it. Like if I can make a circle, you can make a circle. You just like, you stick with kind of like your format. So it's like you start with yoga, you got your drumming, maybe you do singing bowls. I used to do singing bowls for the longest time. Sometimes it's putting on a meditation. Maybe you could put on one of my yoga nidras. Rebecca Campbell has some amazing meditations that I've played in my circles before. Everyone lays on their mat, like everyone has like their comforting stuff, and you just do that together. And then whatever ceremony, I remember our last summer solstice ceremony, everyone gathered like, I think it was like whatever, like if you have a sacred number, if it's like 7, 3, 11, if you're like 111 is a very sacred number, but that would take a really long time to go gather 111 objects from nature. I think we kept it simple with like collect 3 things from nature. So if it was a pine cone, a rock, or 3 rocks. And we all stood by the river, and you just kind of gathered all of your energy. And it was like 3 things that you're ready to let go of, or 1 thing you're ready to let go of, 2 things you're ready to call in. And with each stone or each pine cone, you held it, you embodied the nature, like, I'm ready to let go of this pain. And then you threw it in the water, and it's like goosebumps for you and for your sisters. And some women were brave enough to speak it out, and others just wanted to go and be on their own. And that was completely fine too. It's no right or wrong way. That was a beautiful ritual. I've done a ritual in winter time where we had like a really small fire, and we burned our fears. We wrote out all of our fears and burned them, and it was beautiful. So there's so many different rituals that you can do, and they don't have to be like so crazy. Like one time we everyone brought their own crystal, and we set our intention, and then we dug them by the mother tree, which is this beautiful tree on one of my soul sisters' property. And then we planted them, and then we buried them. And then it was like, thank you. And then usually we wrap up the circle with some sort of like connecting piece. So I always love this one where you bring everyone in a circle. Like you can sit or you can stand shoulder to shoulder, and you put one hand on your heart and one hand on the woman's heart behind you, and you just send love around the circle. You send love around the circle, and it's kind of like something that you like, you just say send love, and then you receive love in through your hand. You receive it back. And then I like to have usually like everyone just like everyone say an intention or what you want to bring into this new season for yourself and for your sisters. And you can say like love, prosperity, abundance, health, and everyone whispers it into the pot, and it grows 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 and it grows. And then I always like to bring the practice down with namaste. I think it's just a way to like seal and close the energy. So you could do really whatever resonates. And then bring your hands to your hearts. And I always say the love and the light within me honors and acknowledges the love and the light within you. Namaste. And then like even that, just like giving you a rundown of my circles, like it's powerful. And so I encourage you, if you have ever had an inkling to do a circle and you're maybe scared, or maybe you have one friend to do it with. Do you know how many times I've done a circle with just one friend? So many times. And it's been amazing. Do you know how many times I've done a circle with just myself? So many times. And it's amazing. It's not as amazing by myself, but sometimes that's just how it goes, and you just do it. So I really hope that this summer solstice that you give yourself permission to create a circle, to create some new energy, to let go of some of that springtime, and to just for real change. And like this beautiful card after the rain, like for real, it's like, how perfect is this card? Like it was raining like crazy, and now it's saying silver lining, relief, hope, mercy. It's over. Acceptance. Like accept it and go with it and just be present because you were worthy of this new summer energy and you're worthy to be in full bloom. It's great if you're in full bloom. It's also great if you're feeling like you're still wintering. It's really okay. You just do you and show up the best that you can this summer. And if you're home, if you're a mama, if you're a working mom, if you're a stay at home mom, if you're doing all the things and pulling your hair out in every direction, you can do it because, like, there is a season for everything. And this is truly your season to be exactly where you are without judgment, to just to own yourself, to own the saying, you're so weird, to remember that life is a practice. It's not a perfect, it's not a one size fits all. And honestly, like how things work for me might not always work for you. And even with all of my recommendations and things that are like amazing for me as an empath, maybe for you, you're on the other side of the spectrum. Maybe for your circles, like you want to run things way differently. That's totally fine. You do you. And just know that you truly are worthy of anything that you put your mind to. And the Empath Alchemist tip of this podcast is to just bloom when you're ready to bloom. And if you're like a lotus and at nighttime you need to close up and travel back down through the murky mud and close up and rest and retreat, you be that lotus. And know that when the sun is shining the next day, that it's time for you to travel up and out of the depths and the darkness and open to the sun, open to the healing energy of nature, and truly know that you are loved. And my beautiful friend, from my soul to yours, the love and the light within me honors and acknowledges the love and the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. And I would love to gift you a free yoga class. You can head over to the videos or there's playlists all up in this space. And a gift would be if you could share this with one person. You could thumbs up, subscribe, do whatever you feel called to. And I will be back here with you, sharing all of my wisdom, all of my love, and all of my light. Have a beautiful summer solstice.